Hello, welcome to the Viewpoint with Precious Ayembe. Remember, I told you that we're going to have in a guest on our program today, and because today is Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. Our guest in the studio today will have so much to say about love relationship, marriage relationship, because he's an expert on that. And let me try to read out his profile so you will know who is talking to you, because Nigerians love that a lot. They want to know if this person has what it takes to talk to them. So our guest for today, he is a writer and also a veteran journalist, a public relations specialist, an ordained minister of God, a writer, a certified life coach, and a marriage counselor with close to 3 decades and still counting. This is who we have on our program today. Our guest, his name is Pastor Tony Omenu, right here with us on the program The Viewpoint with Precious Ayembe. Welcome, Pastor. You're welcome,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, sir.
Thank you so much.
First and foremost, I need to commend your simplicity, your simplicity. I don't know the right words to use. I want to thank you for being such an encouragement to us. And I pray 2025, God should just give us this kind of client that won't stress us. Seriously. This kind of guest that won't put us under pressure. I want to comment that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So let's go straight to the point.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You have a wonderful, illustrious careers as a writer, a veteran journalist, and a public relations specialist, an ordained minister of God, as I said earlier, a writer, and a certified life coach and a marriage counselor with close to 3 decades and still counting.
Yeah.
So, sir, what inspired you into pursuing this path, into this kind of lifestyle of careers?
Well, as a matter of fact, I view humanity from the angle of service.
Okay.
I believe that whatever thing we should do or we are to do here on earth is to add value to the lives of people. And these are the things that actually inspired or motivated me into, my career path in life, to see how we can be able to make a difference, how we can be able to improve on the lives of people, because most of the challenges people face in life is as the result of lack of adequate knowledge, information. They don't know. So they are just groped in the dark, and somebody should be able to at least show the light and say, this is how you should be. So, in a nutshell, these are the things that actually inspired me into my career path in life and eventually ending up in ministry full time.
Yeah. So I really want to get more from this journalism stuff, because I was like, look at the veteran journalist.
Yes.
My
yes.
media colleague.
Yes. Yes. My first degree actually was in English and literary studies. Then after that, but before then, I don't know whether I can say this.
Oh, go.
Before then, I actually wanted to do law.
Okay.
That was the direction I thought. But I happened to be born again at the age of 13.
13,
Yes,
wonderful.
yes, quite early in life. So I started talking to God about whatever thing I want to do. So I remember 3 different times I prayed about my course of career in life. I saw myself, in the press room writing articles, and so I'd be wondering what's the connection between the law I want to do with this. And eventually, when I finished my what do you call it now, upper 6 then, which today we look at our A levels. Yes, my A level, and applied for law. My brother did all he could. I couldn't. Then when I now applied now to do either English, because that's what was available then, and eventually I got the admission. And after that, I started working on myself along this line of journalism. I did a program with EdSUT, an EdSUT diploma program in journalism, and later did one that was sponsored by the Assemblies of God then in the U.S. Then later I went to the International Institute of Journalism, where I did my PhD in PhD in journalism and public relations.
Wonderful.
So that is the journey so far.
So that is after that you now found yourself into ministry.
Yes. No, before then, as a matter of fact, I realized that right from, let's say, age 7, 8, 9, I tend to be, maybe having passion for the things of God.
Wow.
And I don't know, most likely my mother's influence too, because she was so committed to the things of God, and she was able to instill that in us. So she exposed us to a lot of materials when we were growing up about great men and women of God. And most of them, I discovered that most of them got born again between the ages of 10 to 15. So I started praying, on that between 7, 8, 9, God, if indeed you want me to serve you in the capacity of a minister of the gospel, then I want to be saved within that age bracket. And to my greatest surprise, at age 13, I met with the Lord and continued from there. So from the age of 13, I got born again, received the life of Christ, and that has been my journey till date.
Okay. Well, has there any point maybe your parents have this knowledge that you're going to be a pastor?
Yes, there was, but interestingly, they didn't tell me. You see, my parents told me later, much, much later. In fact, after I had, gone in fully into ministry, that was when they now disclosed this to me.
Oh.
That when I was born, that while I was still in the hospital with my mother, my father said somebody walked into his house. I think a pastor or a preacher walked into the house and told him that he's looking for a preacher. So he was wondering which preacher, because he stays here with his wife, and now God has blessed them with a son. Then the man now said that boy, that son of yours, is going to be a preacher.
White in the hospital.
Yes.
Your mother hasn't come back.
Yes, my mother and I were in the hospital. Then my father was at home. The man now said that boy that
they just gave birth
to is going to be a preacher.
Are
but
you
my
serious?
parents never. They intentionally kept this away from me. It was after, of course, they were watching my life, the direction I was going to in life, but they never started until when I fully, surrendered fully to God, and not just immediately. After some years, then I said, look at what happened when you were born. Then I got to know that I didn't just stumble into this by accident or by other external, interests, but it's like it has been there that God wanted me to work for Him.
So this is a definition that God called others were called by Himself.
Well, yes, I think the large extent what you have said is true, because of the kind of things we have seen these days in ministry, which is quite unfortunate.
So now, like Liz, we're having a background from what you just said as a pastor, because we really want to know your foundation.
Yes.
And it is kind of interesting to find out that, yes, truly, you are not the type I call the 419 pastors. Because anybody can be a pastor.
Of course.
Because pastor is a title.
Of course.
So an arm over on the street can name himself a pastor. A prostitute can say he's a pastor. Anybody can say the pastor because it's a title. It's your lifestyle that defines if you are pastors. I'm some are called, truly. You can see it from the behavior, from the attitude, because I could testify from our guest today, truly, I can see his level of humility, service to God is truly indeed called. And now we'll be going straight now to a relationship question, which I know our guest is waiting to hear. Wonderful, because today is Valentine. Once more, happy Valentine. Now, back to our guest, sir. Because we know that you are so passionate about relationship, marriages, and the right. So, can you give us a brief about, because you've just shared with us how your pursuit too as a pastor. Now, let's talk about relationship, your marriage counseling, and the right. So, what led to that, sir?
Yes. No sooner I became a pastor, although my parents, I must say this, my parents, though they are all blessed memory today.
Wow.
They were also pastors. My mom was a pastor. My father was a pastor.
Okay, now I can see.
Yes, but notwithstanding, I realized that when I came into the ministry full time, that one of the challenges members were having had to do with their relationship, you know. And most often than not, the people that were having this challenge or challenges are good people. The man is good, the husband, the wife is good. So you now begin to wonder what exactly should be the problem, because both of them are good people. So that drove me into wanting to find out what exactly is the challenge, what is actually happening. How come that these good people cannot make a good marriage? you know. So in the quest for knowledge, trying to know more, I now discover that there's much more to relationship than we know. Much more.
So what is it, sir?
Yes, because you see, marriage is not just two good people coming together. Doesn't guarantee a good marriage.
So you mean two good people?
Yes, sir.
Can't guarantee marriage.
Yes.
And why?
Yes, because what marriage entails is more than being good.
So what is that?
Good, because you.
Because I'm getting scared now because two good people
Of course.
cannot.
Of course.
So
Of course.
let me hear more.
Yeah, because being good is not enough.
Are you serious?
Yes, for a good marriage.
My God.
Rather, it is being knowledgeable,
Wow.
being empowered.
I
That's
love this.
what makes one marriage will last and the other will not last. The individuals in it are good. They are nice. In fact, you hardly find faults in them.
Aye,
But because they are not empowered with the adequate knowledge, what to do per time and what not to do, understanding each other. Because you see, unfortunately, most men, they want to see their wives as themselves.
Oh yes.
And the women do want to see their husbands as themselves, and that is not possible. There are so many dynamics that plays out in marriage or marriages. But when we don't understand these dynamics, let me give you just one or two examples.
Yeah.
For example, now, when a woman comes to a man and begin to share some challenges, like the wife now, some challenges she's experiencing or she's going through, what comes to the man's mind at such times is that, okay, I'm going to advise her. I'm going to give her some wise counsel. So the man now will now start trying to advise the woman. This is how I think you should handle this, handle that. But the truth is that is not what she wants from the man at that time.
So what does she want?
Empathy.
Oh.
What she wants from the husband is to empathize with her at that time. But the man, not knowing that that's what she needs, will now run into advice.
This is
And
interesting.
at the end of the day, it will escalate the matter.
Wow.
She'll be pissed off and walk away and feel and the feelings, the negative emotion she has will now escalate. Why? Because she thought that the man ought to. And of course, the man is sincerely advising him, because if the man was to be
Advising her.
advising her, because if the man was to be in her shoes, that's what the man will expect. That I'm coming to you to advise me. Then on the part of the woman too, is that often than not, women by their nature they nurture. They nurture. So when a man is like having some experiences too, some kind of challenges, or the last thing the man expects is for the wife to begin to want to start suggesting things. Start trying to, because when the woman is suggesting those things to the husband rather, what he's supposed to do, in order to, what the man is hearing is control. But she's not trying to control her, him rather. She's not trying to control him, but that's what he is hearing.
My God.
Whereas what the woman is offering are suggestions that will help them to come out of that challenge that they found themselves in. So it is knowledge.
Wow.
It's knowledge. If people are not empowered in relationship, in marriage, it will definitely crash. Just a matter of time.
Wow. I'm so super impressed from this word you just said. Because actually we thought maybe when couples They are good people. They got married. We're expecting the best from them. And yet you said it's not just being
No,
good.
yeah, it's not.
It's being knowledgeable.
Being empowered.
That is fantastic. That's
Thank you, ma'am.
fantastic. So our next question now, as a mentor and a guidance now, because as a mentor to a married couples and a single, what are some of these common challenges which you just mentioned now and you've observed, and how do you guide them in overcoming those
Yes,
things?
the number one challenge for me, I think, is effective communication. Yeah, because communication is not just saying something.
Because one need to understand. It's not
Exactly,
even communicating.
exactly.
I can be communicating to you, but you refuse to understand.
That's what I'm saying now. That's why the communication is not effective. You are communicating, but it can only be effective if the feedback you are getting from the other person is confirming
What you are passing,
exactly.
the message you are passing
Exactly.
out. Wow.
You see, and there's no way we can communicate effectively where we do not understand each other.
So at what point do we understand each other? I thought during courtship, so they can understand each other.
Yes, during courtship to an extent, but like us who are trained therapists or counselor or coach, with what name you want to call us, we have a system whereby we can be able to help you understand yourselves better. Because you just need to understand yourselves better before you even step in. There's a premarital program some of us do that will run for about 2-3 months that will even help you to understand each other. In fact, some of the areas you may not even know of, we were going to bring it out in the course of the interrogation. We will give to both of you, and that will help you to know if this relationship will stand. For example, a lady may say that my deal breaker is cheating. I can't continue with a man that cheats. For example,
Wow.
that may be a deal breaker. But the man may not know that is the wife's deal breaker. And eventually, in the course of life, one thing leads to the other, and this happened. And it's like it's over. But because the man didn't know that is what. So in the course of time, we try to explain these things to you, and not just that, to also help you set what we call the marriage structure. Any marriage that will last must have a structure.
Wow.
Any building that will last must have a structure.
So what's the structure, sir?
Good. Now, both parties should be able to define what their goal or goals is in marriage. You are coming in, I'm coming in. What are my goals in this relationship? That's where the therapist will now help to both of you to reconcile your goals for it now to synchronize. Because without that goal, maybe the man's goal is to have children. I'm just married to have children.
So those taught me that.
Yes, so I can be living anyhow.
And
but
I
just
said, oh my God. You want to marry me because I just want a child. I was, are you serious?
Exactly now.
I'm such. Can I shock you? In less than a year, the man died.
You see. So it's children, and the woman's goal may be no. I want a quality relationship. You see, but the therapist will try to reconcile the two of them. Try to bring both goals they have, bring them together, discuss it with them, and they will now create that will be compatible, that will accommodate their interest. Number 2, what is your vision?
Wow.
What is my vision in this relationship? A healthy relationship, or a relationship that will be, we fall today, we get up the other day. No. What is your vision? What exactly do you want to achieve in this relationship? That takes care of the issue of, then even the issue of mission, the issue of purpose. See, these things must be defined. For example, I want my children in the next 20-25 years or thereabout, to be this, to be that, to be that. And these things don't just happen by chance. It is happened by intention, purpose. You make up your mind. And that is where what we call intentional parenting comes in. It will help you to know how you can design these things for you to be able to achieve it. So when you see people, I tell people that when you see people out there, you look at their children, you admire them, you wonder. No, God gives all of us the same.
Wow.
It is what we are able to do with what He has given to us over time. The first 10 years or so in marriage, that's what determines what that child will turn out to be. So when some other person is intentionally taking care of his own, your own, you just leave your own for God or whoever to take care of, well, 20 years down the road, we will know who actually parented the child, whether it was you. So all of these things are things that forms the structure.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wow. Viewers out there, I hope you learned so much from our guests today in the studio. We'll go on a short break, right back. This is The Viewpoint with Precious Ayembe. Welcome back to the program, The Viewpoint with Precious Ayembe. In case you're just tuning in, we have our guests in the studio. We are talking on relationship because today is Valentine and it's Pastor Tony Aminu. And he's giving us some information that we don't even know about relationship. Oftentimes people thought being good is one that makes relationship, makes good marriage. No. And people will say, no, bad people doesn't make a good relationship, good marriages. Do you know what? I have information for you. Our guest will explain this to us. Back to our guest. Sir, I want to ask you this question. Oftentimes people said being good is what makes good marriage. And being bad cannot make good marriage because already the foundation is faulty because they are bad. Yeah. So what will you have to say about this?
Yes. You see, the principles that run the marriage relationship is not predicated on good or bad. Rather, it is predicated on being empowered, having the right information. Two bad persons who are able to understand the rules that makes marriage work, they will live they will enjoy their marriage.
This is
it's information.
What?
You see, in the Bible, in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7.
Sorry, let me come because this thing you just said, my brain was like, two bad people can still make a good marriage.
Yes. The whole thing is predicated on empowerment.
On knowledge and power.
Yes.
God.
Knowledge. You see, and unfortunately too, people don't know that the male and the female gender are not different only in their physical appearance, but different in virtually everything.
Jesus.
Virtually everything.
Oh my God.
The way the man processes his information is not the same way the woman does.
For years. Yeah.
But most men don't know.
Wow.
Women speak out their stress. They don't bottle up their stress. Men bottle up their stress. A man can only open up when he has seen somebody he feels can intervene, can help him. But that's not so with the woman. So if you know that women expresses their stress, and that makes them to say things, and you see, when a woman is expressing her stress, most of what she's saying, she doesn't mean them.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Even with some say with these harsh words.
That's what I'm saying. She just speaking it based on the emotion of the moment.
Are you serious?
That is why this woman that will say these things that will annoy you, in the next 5 minutes, let something good happen. She will come around, smiling, hold you, and you'll be wondering, is it the same person who just told me that she's leaving this marriage? That is not telling me that what are we going to do concerning this? It's the same person. That's why I say that it is knowledge based. You see, marriage is an institution. Just like we have the corporate organization, whatever. So there are rules and regulations. Government is an institution. The church is. Marriage too is. They have their rules. But if you do not understand these rules and play according to these rules, you'll be having issues and think that the devil has come in. I'm not saying that the devil doesn't come in. He does. But it is not as the percentage or the degree we
Yeah,
give
we
to it.
have
Yes,
now.
yes.
So,
It
so
is
many,
lack-
so many
yes,
divorces.
it is majorly lack of knowledge, adequate information. When they know it, and that's why the 3 months, premarital thing we do is very, very important, because that's when you get to know. For example, a woman that is going through the monthly
Cycle.
at that particular time, the chemical change,
Changes.
in our system also affects our mental behavior at times. Yes, it happens. But if the man doesn't understand that, he will just take it up on her and say, "You are a devil. Demon has entered you. This other thing is happening." No, nothing like that. Nothing.
But like now, I want to come back to this.
Okay.
Because I know that means some of those believers, when we know that those people are believers, Christians, who marriages crashes, who went into divorce. So that means it was based on they don't have a lot of knowledge.
Yes, most of them
They don't have this
are
knowledge.
not adequately equipped for relationship. Like I said,
Despite knowing God's word, despite being a pastor, bishop, reverend father, and reverend.
I'm a pastor.
Huh.
And
This is serious.
and not just that I'm a pastor, I had some issues on some of these things. And those issues were sincere. I sincerely had them. Because I was just behaving the way I should behave. My wife too had some of her own too, behaving the way she should behave. But not until, because both of us are trained therapy, my wife and I, not until we started getting the knowledge, we now started, so these were the things that were playing out, and of course, that was playing out. No, so most of the challenges people have in their relationship, it is not Satan.
So now, as we round it up, we want him to give the last advice to marriage couple and all singles relationships. Thank you so much. So back to you.
Yes,
Sir.
my last advice for the married, please don't just say you are married and you just go and rest. No, read. Thank God we have so many materials today in the social media, addressing some of these things. So read, empower yourself. Marriage is a school that nobody graduates from. Your certificate is given to you on the day you got married, but graduation is not there. So we keep learning, so learn. Then those who are yet to go into it, please also try to read up. And if you have the opportunity to meet therapists or counselors that will help you, please go. Because for me, it is once in a life thing. So you should make sure that you get the best before you go into it. God bless you.
Thank you so much,
Ma.
Pastor Tony Aminu.
It's my pleasure, ma.
Thank you for being part of this edition of the program. Thank you for so much knowledge.
You're welcome.
I'm super inspired. I'm super inspired. Thank you so much. Thank you. At least when next we're going to bring you for fully on what the church is and who is a Christian, because now we didn't really talk more about because we really want to talk about relationship, because today is Valentine. Thank you for giving us this opportunity again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma.
Yeah. Viewers, this is where we want to draw the curtain and say goodbye to you today on this wonderful program, The Viewpoint with Precious Yebe. For more of this information of the program, the numbers on the screen, you can reach out to us.